All right, welcome guys. Thank you for joining and thank you for taking the time to be with us today. Today we're going to give you a nice preview of some of the things we are working on, in particular the new indicator that is going to be relevant for everyone. This will be released at the end of February. Together with a lot of other stuff that we are working on. But today we're going to just go into the indicator. And then please, for any questions you have, please send them in the chat and we'll go over that as well. So basically, what you're seeing right now is obviously Tesla reported earnings yesterday. So we're going to start from there. And then we're also going to go into the dashboard. But the biggest challenge for you guys today is that obviously TradingView does not have an API. So basically the levels are manually added to the chart, which is, of course, can take from several seconds to several minutes a day, depending on how many tickers you use. But basically what we've done to change that is build basically a way for us to automatically publish the data directly into your chart. So what is going to happen at the end of February, you're going to be able to provide us with your TradingView account, and we're going to enable you for these indicators. And basically, once you have access to these indicators, then you just simply access them instead of from your favorites section, from your invite only section. So you will not see this. This is our testing environment. You will see those. You'll be able to add the blind spot level, the end of the level, the intraday levels, and the swing levels directly into your chart. And what that does is it now basically would plot exactly the same level. So this looks might look to you like it's the same, but I'm going to show you why this is different. So now we have our end of day gamma levels. This is Tesla level as of the close yesterday. So if you open the settings, as you can see, first you have the timestamp, so you can see at the top right-hand corner when the levels were updated. And now you see that we don't have the input option anymore, right? So there's no input levels right there. But everything else is the same. So we still have our conversion settings right here, have our levels settings there as well. So everything is the same, right? Nothing has changed. There's no input section. So let's go now into yes. So now we have our levels for yes. We have our levels for Google. We have our level for all our stocks and futures. Everything would be available directly in the indicator. So here we have our Google example, Amazon, Apple, thank you, and so on. So all the levels will be there. Right. On top of that, what we've added is we've added something that I renamed this Patrick AI. So we applied basically the same principle of the roadmap that we teach in our courses directly into the indicator. So now you can come here and you can now create your roadmap, and basically you can control using a ratio how big the boxes has to be, and then basically you will have automatically drawn on your chart the roadmap for the day. And then one other thing that you can do, you can then make it even easier for your eyes to look at, and you can then access exactly what Patrick shows right now, drawing this manually. This is now done automatically for you directly from the indicator. So very, very easy. As we see, we started from our gamma levels. We then added our areas, our roadmap, and then if you want to have a chart that doesn't have the indicators, then now you have a clearer version right there that is really using all of our gamma levels directly into your chart. Please let me know if there's any questions there. We have a chat here, so feel free to add it in the chat. I don't know if, Aman, you want to add anything or ask any question.
No, I have to say, for those that don't use TradingView, this is impressive. Saves a lot of time going into, and I love the feature that you have up on top, Fabio, where it's last updated. So yeah, amazing stuff. This is, I can't wait for that, to get a copy of that. So
yeah, for sure. And if we go back to, for example, our Tesla example, first, let's look at some levels for today. So we open right at the 1-day max, bounce all the way down to our JAX4 level, and now we're in the trajectory to hit the 1-day max again. Here with the roadmap, I can also control how big the boxes has to be. They really depend on the asset, right? So here, if we lower this, then we're going to create smaller boxes, and that's going to give you even like a better overview of how to potentially trade in between levels and fill those gaps right there. So by doing that, we now have our Tesla roadmap in literally less than 30 seconds. This is all using the power of our gamma levels right there. And then obviously you can remove, add, customize the indicator however you like. And you can also do the same activity of converting levels to one asset, from one asset to the other one, right? So that's not changed. Then you have your intraday levels right here. So now we can have all our gamma levels. Let's remove some just for simplicity. And basically you can offset this. And now we have our on the right-hand side, we have our intraday data, which is this one. And on the left-hand side, we have our end-of-day data. And again, this will be automatically updated. And we can add it, remove it, and there's your data right there. Very easy. Same things for blind spots. Again, we can open up our, for example, yes chart. And now we have our gamma levels right there and our blind spot levels over here. And again, we go back into our blind spots. We can create our roadmap, and then we can control the boxes right there. Very, very easy. And now you have your roadmap for the day by using blind spots. There you go.
yeah. And Bobby, just one thing for those that work, right? That's amazing that you can do this and set yourself up for an alert. So you don't have to look at the charts all day long. You can just, set yourself up for an alert at the bottom. Yep, perfect. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so you can set up alerts. To create alerts, what you need to do is you need to tick the box of the levels that you want to be alerted on, and then you would go into the alert section right there, and then you would create a new alert, and then basically you would see price, mentor queue blind spots, and then you have the option right there, crossing below, blah blah blah, and I would say there you go. Sorry, you have price, crossing, blind spots, and then basically I believe. Yeah, I think it's here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can even just put the price on there manually. But yeah, no, you have it right.
Yeah, so that should create. Oh, yes, absolutely. You can come here and just set up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to do it, right off the chart. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a question from Jim, Jeff as well. So yes, the intraday levels will also automatically update. So what you will see here is you will have, and let's go on Tesla again. You will get an option to update the indicator right here when your snapshots are created, and that's going to just add the new data onto the chart. So yes, this will be updated automatically. And as you can see as well here, there's no input section, so everything will be there for you. And to answer your question, Jim, yeah, this is not being released yet. Will be released at the end of February. Let me know if you have questions. This is going to be impacting most of our customers because it's going to actually add a lot of more simplicity and more value, where you're just going to have the indicator sitting on your TradingView account without needing to every day coming into get the levels and update them directly into the chart. So I think this is a big step up for us because it's going to increase the workflow for most of our customers. All right, good question. How often do the intraday levels update during the day? So we can go over that now. So the first thing is, let me go into our guides. So if you guys want to learn more about our intraday gamma models, I'm going to paste the link here. But if you go under products and click on intraday gamma models, then you have this document right there, which is the main guide that we have on our intraday gamma models. And everything will be explained there. So the first thing is, what are the intraday gamma models and why are they important? Then you have the snapshots. So we have 7:45 a.m., 9:35, 10:30, 11:30, all the way to 3:30. So why 7:45? The first thing is that the open interest is updated from the exchange around 1 a.m. in the morning and gets sent to data providers at around 5 a.m. So the updated open interest that you see during the day, you will probably see it in your trading platform at around 7. So we take a 7:45 just to be sure that the data is updated. So we will provide you a 7:45 a.m. snapshot. This is the morning updated open interest from the previous session. So this is still end of day data, but with updated open interest. And then throughout the day, we basically update our gamma exposure model all throughout the day. It's very important because the 935 snapshot also has an update on the 1-day min and 1-day max. So if we go back here, as you can see, the 1-day max end of day is 411.12, I think it was, and the 1-day max intraday is moved up to 416, right? So those, you have both the end of day and the intraday. And why are those relevant? Because it could be that there's earnings. The next day, the price of NVIDIA is down 15% or is up 15%. And therefore, you want to be able to capture that intraday volatility by having an updated snapshot. So we do that with the intraday models. And then within the intraday models, what do we show you? We show you the net gamma exposure chart, our volume, the JAX difference, the gamma levels, and the liquidity summary. So let's go into the dashboard for a second. So let's go into our data dashboard. To get the intraday data, we are going to have a dashboard right here, but right now you have to go to the Ask section. Type in the ticker. So let's look at Tesla. And then you have the option similar to what you would do with the ChatGPT or Claude. You can ask the bot data, right? So you can come here and ask the bot for information. We have our end of day commands, but we also have our intraday commands. So now what you see here is you have your net gamma exposure chart for 0DT options. In the case of stocks, we're talking about the Friday expiration. So this is basically the January 31st, tomorrow's expiration on Tesla. And this shows you the gamma profile and the gamma exposure chart. Yes, Jeff, if you have a question, feel free to join us or send it in the chat and we'll answer it, no problem. You can unmute yourself if you want and basically let us know. But yeah, then we also have within the intraday section, you have a few different models right there. This is looking at all expirations. So this is really overall positioning of Tesla across the full option chain, right? So not just 0DTE options, but also all the other expiration. Then we have our volume and open interest for the current expiration, so the next DTE expiration. So in this case would be the Friday expiration. This is updated throughout the day, and every snapshot allows you to go back in time. So today, right now, we are at our 12:30 snapshot. We can go back and see our 11:30, our 10:30, and our 9:35. So you can see how things change throughout the day. So there's no volume at 9:35 because I think it doesn't get updated until a bit later. So you'll see it in this command here. Then you have your trading view levels. So here, those are the ones that will automatically change within the indicator right here. And you can see how this changed throughout the day. So you could have multiple indicators if you wanted to have the levels updating and so on, but then you can see how things change throughout the day. So very, very nice. And the most important one that I use a lot is the JAX difference versus end of day and the JAX difference versus previous snapshot. So let's look at the JAX difference versus end of day. So obviously here what we see a lot of positive gamma from 397 to 435 or so. So obviously we've added a lot of positive gamma right there, and we've seen a very big decrease in negative gamma. So this could be that that were sold, or like a lot of the activity at those levels were closed because of course we're very outside of the money right there, and also we have some negative gamma at those levels below the 387 level right there. So this is looking at 12:30 snapshot versus the pre-market snapshot, the end of day snapshot, right? So how have things changed at 12:30 compared to 7:45? I can also go back in time and see what was the situation at 11:30 versus the previous day, at 10:30 versus the previous day, and so on. But the very interesting one is looking at the delta between snapshots. So looking at, for example, 12:30 versus 11:30. So we've seen big increase in positive gamma all across, besides some negative gamma. These are really out of the money strikes, right? If we go back again from, in this case, 10:30 to 11:30, right? So see right there. Let's go back one more snapshot, and we see this is like 10:30, 9:35. So look at the price right here. This is like 9:35 till like 10:20. So a lot of like negative gamma, and we see a massive drop of price. And then suddenly now we are almost back, and you can also go back here and look at the different snapshots and see how things evolve, right? So this is all great, but how if you want to see a contextualization of this data, right? If you want to understand what this data means, this is why we've added our intraday liquidity summary. So what this does is really summarize the data in very, very simple words that everybody can kind of understand. First, really the gamma condition. We are in a positive and core-dominated environment. So Tesla is in positive gamma. If you look at our guides, you will know what positive gamma means and why is that important. And then we have our JAX and DAX change. So we see that basically we are at the 12:30 snapshot. So since yesterday, we've seen a 20% increase in positive gamma, right? And then since 11:30, we've seen an 11% increase in positive gamma, which is basically those two charts that we saw right there. If we look at volume, then we see that we have our put-call volume ratio right there and the top volume strikes right here. So we see a lot of like volume around the call strike 400, 420, 440, and there's some put activity around 390, 380. Then we want to see if the levels have changed. So the core resistance is still at 500, and all of the main level have remained the same. and also the high vol level and high vol level 0ET versus the previous snapshot. And then we want to see the top five jack strike change. So we've seen a 13% increase in positive gamma at the 410 level. We've seen a 9% increase at the 380 levels, and we've seen, for example, a 12% decrease or increase in negative gamma at the 447.5 level right there. And again, this changes every snapshot. So here you can have the 1130, the 1030, and so on. Let me see. Jeff, I am new to this type of trading. I know you have videos that go over everything. I learn better from watching someone trade and explain why they took the trade, win or lose. This shows me how they're putting all things together to make trading decision. Yes, we do have already our, so we, as part of our pro membership, we do live trading twice a week on Tuesday and Wednesday at 9:30. And also for you guys, you should also have access to the course here. We made it available for premium. So this was live trading that we did over the past 3 weeks with Patrick. So I'm going to paste the link here. You guys can watch the videos there. This is live trading. And from going forward, we will do live trading twice a week. All of these will be available for our pro members. So yes, we do that. Absolutely, Jeff. Very important. For backtesting purposes, will we have a way to get historical levels that can be used? So the goal really, Lone Wolf, is to make it as easy as possible for you guys to use the data. So you still have access to the data here in the dashboard. So here you have the option to be able to go back in time right there. We're also working on historical API for the other applications so that you'll be able to integrate that data into Ninja, Sierra, and so on. TradingView does not have that feature, unfortunately. So yeah, there's some limitation that we have with TradingView. Let me know if that answers your question. And Jeff, given you're new, is there anything we can help you with? Is there any question that we can go over? Yes, we do have a lot of videos, but I understand that obviously there's a lot of content there, but let me know if there's anything we can help you with. And Aman, I'm gonna go back to you. Let me know if, especially for new people, what would be useful to show.
No, I think Jeff asked a great question. But Jeff, I would echo what Fabio just said on the pro, because it is sometimes drinking out of a fire hose, right? There's a cost to the pro, but definitely highly recommended, worth it, in my opinion. I'm a pro member, so.
And for Jeff, especially if you are new, I would suggest a couple of courses to start with. So if you start from our gamma levels course, that will basically show you what the different levels represents and how you can use them for trading, because it's very important to understand what the core resistance mean, what the put support mean, and what the IVO level mean, and how you can use, for example, the 1-day min and 1-day max. So just to give you an example, right? Today, if we go back to our end of day, if we go back to our end of day data, let me just take away the roadmap for a second. How can you use the 1-day max? How can you use how can you use the 1-day max? How can you use the 1-day minimum? So on Tesla, we opened, we touched the 1-day max, we broke down. If we go back to, I think it was Google, so the same thing today. We opened higher, we touched the 1-day max, came down, bounced off core resistance. So let's imagine that you are on a long trade on Google, right? And let's say that you don't have this type of data available to you. Where do you plan your exit, or how can you manage your risk, right? So you don't have, if you just simply use technical analysis, maybe you can use this as like a resistance, or maybe you could use this one, but you don't really have a clear view of where the price could go, right? But let's add the indicator. So first, you'll see that there is a big JAX1 level. So if you go through the course and you learn what JAX1 mean and how you can use that, you know that this is going to be a very big wall to break. And then you have our 1-day max there. So this area right here was very hard to break, right? As a result, we break it, we retest it, we go down. And then here again, core resistance acted as a reaction zone. We pulled all the way up. If we go back on Tesla, same thing. So we have our 1-day max, big reaction, down all the way to our JAX4. If you learn what the JAX level 1 to 10 means, and if you go back to our dashboard and look at the net gamma exposure chart, you can see the importance of JAX4. And as you can see, JAX4 was also like really respected yesterday all throughout the trading session. So it was very hard to break this level. So very important level. Price comes here, boom, all the way up, and now we are probably going to end up like towards that, maybe the 1-day max. Let's see.
And Jeff, just one comment, and Fabio, if it's okay.
Yep.
I know there's a lot of, and once again, I'm a paid member, just full transparency. I don't work for MentorQ. I would highly recommend for those that are joining, watch the videos. What that will do is let you and Fabio and Patrick speak the same language. I spent 1 weekend just watching all of this stuff, taking notes, because when some of the comments are made, Fabio and Patrick are speaking a language, but if we don't understand it, so 1 weekend, take it out. Your future self will thank you for it. There's a lot of data, but once you consume it, you'll appreciate your trading style. And for Lone Wolf, just one thing on back testing. It's easy to back test, but just do the last 5 days. And I record my videos at the end of the day, but just record the last 5 days of the asset that you trade, and you'll see that the levels that MentorQ gives you is really on point. I used to work in a major bank, not in trading, but in business continuity. What MentorQ is providing for the price point is just amazing. So I would say for everyone, just make best use of it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, and exactly like what Aman says, especially like if you're gonna use this for trading, for basing your decision. I think going through, and obviously maybe not all of the courses, but even if you do one lesson per day, you'll be able to take a lot of like really new insights. We spend a lot of time going through this live, and we create the live to help you understand how to use the levels of the data for you to actually make better decisions. So every live that we do, we don't just do it for doing a live session, but we do it to actually help you guys learn something new. So for example, we did blind spots. We did like, we're going to start our futures trading club back on Monday. So Patrick is going to be live at 6 a.m. Monday and Thursday. And we're going to go through the new indicator. How can you create a roadmap for futures trading? And we're going to do that live, open to everyone as of next week. So please don't miss that. Another thing, if you go on our YouTube channel, we are live almost every day. So if you click on our channel right, just make sure you follow us there, because every week you're going to find a lot of different things. So tomorrow we're going to talk about quant trading strategies with one of my friends, Nick Diaz in Miami. Is ex-Citadel. He's going to talk to us about how to use a quant approach for trading and what's the outlook for 2025. Next week, we're going to have our 6 a.m. club again. We have advanced strategies with options. So if you guys are trading stocks or do you want to learn how to use options, Dan is amazing at using our string model, our DEX model. And also, if you go back in time, you'll find a lot of value out of all these sessions. So make sure you take note on that, and there's a lot of information there for sure. Let's see if we have more questions, guys. This session is for you, so let me know how we can help you. Mm. All right. I don't know, Aman, if from your side, let me know if so if you think I should add other stuff. But I think, yeah, this was a review of the new indicator was coming very soon. In February, we're also going to have some major product updates. So stay tuned. We're going to release those at the end of February. We're going to come up with a lot of interesting stuff. So stay tuned for that. We'll do a lot of activity around that period.
Yeah, Fabio, I would just ask maybe for the new members. I don't have any questions. You're probably tired of me already. I spend a lot of time with the pro team. Maybe for the new users, what questions do you have? I would just say, and I made this comment to Fabio, I don't think he ever sleeps, so you have access to a CEO that's fully involved. For a Lone Wolf and others that ask great questions, what is it, that one thing that you need for you to be successful? Because I think MentorQ's success is based on the users, and the user success is based on MentorQ, right? So I would maybe ask the new members, what you don't know, but what is it, the one question that maybe Patrick, Fabio and I can help answer while we have access to him.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, like, a lot of the things that you guys need, or a lot of the things that we have developed, came from you guys. So listening to you guys and understanding what are the things that could make you successful. So, for example, like the blind spots was purely designed to from user feedback. So from wanting to convert like levels from one asset to the other one, because there's a lot of important information on correlation. So we developed the blind spots, and now I think, Aman, you use the blind spot every day. I think is your main indicator, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of users are now finding a lot of success, and this was purely developed in a matter of a few weeks by listening to our user feedback. So
yeah, and I would echo that. The blind levels for me are my de facto. I know how to do supply and demand very well, but blind levels, even if you just look at ES this morning, if you can maybe bring that up, and just blind levels for this morning. Yep. So if you look at blind level 1 at 6101 this morning, for those that play futures, yep, right there. And you look at pre-market at 4 o'clock or so Eastern, you see that, and these levels come out then at 11 p.m. Eastern the night before. I have a hard time sleeping sometimes. If I see these levels, you could have literally taken it from level to level this morning at blind level 1 all the way to blind level 2. And if you missed it, you could have also taken it back at blind level 2, where we are right now, around, right. So, and this is a data set that, and I've been trading for many years, one just did not have, right? You had to spend a lot of more money on it than what MentorQ is charging. So the levels are there, but understanding it, I think, is so important for new users. Where would you take a trade? That could be your exit point as well as your entry point, right? But if you have a 1-day max, you wouldn't take calls up there knowing that it could really reverse. So now you add GEX levels on top of it. Just amazing, data. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah, and also, again, this is a confluence of data. So the idea behind it is that you are basically based a decision backed by data, where let's say that if you are thinking on going long here, not only you have a big JAX level, but you also have a 1-day max. So your potential upside maybe is like 5-6 points, right? So are you willing to take that risk and instead looking at this big move right there, where you have a very strong potentially resistance area here. You could have broken for sure, but look at all this crazy move that we had from 6,110 all the way down to 6,050. So 60 points move in a matter of maybe like an hour or so.
Yep. So there's a question from Jim Fabio. If we can answer that, then I'll maybe help out with Lone Wolf and Kaleem's thing, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I know this is not my show, but
no, of course,
I'm off this week. So
I appreciate the help. So do blind levels update during regular trading hours? Right now, the blind levels are end of day. They will update it at 11 p.m. Eastern. And we do blind levels on futures and the major assets. So we don't have those on stocks yet, but they will come soon. So you can have blind levels on SPX. You can have blind levels on QQQ, on VIX. No, on VIX we don't have it actually. On the futures, so GC, gold, crude oil, all of that, you will have blind spots there.
yeah. And Jim, just to add to that, for me, less is more, right? Even when blind levels change every, couple of hours, I think it's the mental fatigue for me. I can tell you I trade now heavy, and the blind levels are amazing. And that, for me, explains what the market is looking at. And we don't need to understand the formula, don't need to understand how it's derived. But you'll notice if I plot just the blind levels on my chart, right? And then I do the roadmap myself for now because the indicator will come out late February, early March. But if you just look at blind levels naked, you'll see that they work throughout the day. And the market makers, even though they may change, you don't want to spend too much time updating this stuff unless it's happening automatically, because you'll forget which one you did and which one you didn't do. Yep. So Lone Wolf, if I can read the question, I would suggest perhaps a quick start where some of the materials. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think some of it is Greek. Can I ask you to maybe unmute if you can? Would maybe like a 7-day course of like on day 1, you just watch this, you do this. Do you think that would help you? And if you can't unmute, totally want to respect that. If you can maybe type it in, from like a 0 to a hero program.
And for those who are new, I think, Aman, one of the great course that we have was this one with Nick.
Yep.
This one, I think, for those who are starting, it's a very great starting point. We spent about 10 hours with Nick. So Nick is a new user, is now a pro member as well. And he's really an entrepreneur that basically wants now to dedicate more time to trading. Starting from zero. So he has invested in the past in just stocks, but really just holding in the account and just like not really actively trading. So during these sessions, we went 4 days actually. The first day is really to teach Nick on how to use the data. So what is the data that we provide? The second day is for Nick to define a type of strategy that he wanted to implement. And the third day We went through actually trading, commenting on trades. So a lot of like really cool stuff. We spent about 10 hours with Nick. So for those who are starting, this is a very amazing content that you guys can access.
Yep. Yeah. And Lone Wolf, that's okay if the mic isn't working. I would just say, watch that video that Fabio was just nice enough to share, the Zero to Trader. But, don't message me because my messages are blocked. Message Fabio and see how that works out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so a 5-day course. Interesting feedback. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And Kaleem, you had a question. And sorry, this is not the Iman show, but I love Fabio a lot, so I have no problem. Thanks, Fabio and Iman. Still learning to use futures. Any books, references to learn the gamma ideas as used by MQ, or just go through the course?
Yeah. And go through our guides. So if you go, not only the courses, if you go, the courses obviously are videos, so it's probably easier to understand and learn. We show a lot of stuff, but if you go to our guides, everything is there as well. So let's say that you say, okay, I want to become a 0DT trader, right? You see, like, maybe you see Doc in the chat and you want to do what he does. You come here and first you want to learn what 0DT options are, very important. And then maybe you want to learn how to trade 0DTs, or like what is an iron condor and how can we use the MentorQ data for iron condor. Or if you are a futures traders, then maybe you want to like learn how to trade futures with MentorQ. We did something about crypto, but again, we also have a lot of like case studies, right? So trading commodities, manage risk in a volatile day, and so on. And then if you then go back to the courses, we have a course called Trading with MentorQ. So this is really real-time use cases of, we have users who are coming to these sessions. We have different types of traders, from futures to options to stocks and so on. So trading will really allow you to understand how also other people are using the data. So for example, we have earning preparation, trade recap, we have futures trading, crude oil. So we have a lot of really interesting things here. So, and thank you, Jeff, for the feedback. I think that's a very good one. Thank you, Kaleem. Nice feedback.
No Moncho here, Kaleem. Yeah, and Kaleem, I would just, if I was advising my younger brother, don't think about futures or options because they have different risks associated with it. And I've actually been teaching my nieces and nephews how to trade over the weekend. Understand the market, understand the data, right? Because then you can apply different methodologies on different assets. Your style may be that you wake up early in the morning, you're on the West Coast, you can trade futures, right? So once you understand it, you can apply different tools to different asset classes. And don't lock yourself just in for options, futures. Let that happen, but understand the data so well that you can diversify your portfolio as well. Because you don't want to, maybe options is not a good day to trade options because it's a choppy day, right? In days like that, I trade futures. So you can shift around as needed and be nimble.
Yeah, and I think another thing, guys, we have a great community. So I would, if I can also give some suggestion on my younger brother, make sure you take full advantage of our rooms, because we have people like Patrick, which is for me by far the most successful futures trader that I met in my career. You have people like Tim. Tim provides really amazing content, like really, this is research that you we have to pay like a big bank to get access to this sort of information. Like Tim provides it to us right here. We also have a live session with Tim every Monday. And if you guys want to learn how to trade options, and we have Dan and Doc, right? So you can find them right here. They are amazing at doing option spreads. So like read what they do, learn what they do, ask them questions. You guys can comment here, so you guys can leverage the community. So don't be shy, don't be scared to do so, because this is all for you guys. This is all available. So
Fabio, can you show folks how to access the calendar? You know, that's a great tool, and you guys have a lot of classes, right? I've bought data from other, you know, groups, and you know, they charge you for every time you join a session like this. Can you just maybe show folks, you know, and it's all included in their yep, right there, live events, right? You know, bookmark that, folks. You know, look on the daily thing and see if your schedules allow, you know, just to hop onto those things, and they're all free. And I know some of them are for pro members, but most of the classes are available for all.
Yeah, and if you add that to your calendar, again, if you have, you know, let's say that you are in between meetings, you have time to join, you can just click here, look at the link, and you can look at YouTube, you can look at our platform right there, and then just feel free to join. Q&A is always there, so you'll always be able to ask questions. Again, we do those sessions for you guys, so don't be scared. Come to as many as you can. Really help us.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Lone Wolf. I think Fabio is not real because he never sleeps. So
thank you. I'm real. I promise. Yeah, and thank you, Lone Wolf, for the feedback. But yes, I think for next week, especially for those who are trading futures, we're gonna have our 6 a.m. Morning club back. So Patrick is gonna be live. We're gonna be live on both YouTube and our webinar. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the morning routine. We're gonna look at the new indicator. We're gonna go into the preparation for the day, looking at futures. If you guys also want to learn from Patrick, again, go back to our courses right here. And we did about 35 sessions, similar to what we're going to do on Monday. We have our future trading club here. This is all being live in August last year for 27 days. So from July 22nd to August 23rd. So you guys can access that. We did another session before the holidays. So if you come back to the Academy and you type in futures trading, we have our 6 a.m. club. This was just before Christmas, right? So this was middle of December. We're going to start that back again. And also we did live trading during US election. So this is all content available for you guys within the Academy. Again, this is, where is this? Live trading. This is like watching Patrick live trading for about 15 hours, I think it was, over the course of 3 days. These are all the breakdown of all the trades that were done during those sessions. And again, everything is here for you guys. So. Thank you, Kalim. I will.
Fabio, maybe we can ask the community what would they like to see maybe in a future session, other than the lovely sessions that Patrick's holding with the 6 o'clock.
Yeah, and Kalim, if you want us to be part of any of your teaching sessions, please let us know. Definitely interested in exploring that opportunity as well. Donald, yes, the election was crazy. We were there, I think, for about 13 hours. yeah, so we were like, and we also did the FOMC. So we did the US election, the night of the election, the day after, and then we did FOMC. So yeah, it was pretty wild. But it's all recorded there for you guys, so you guys can access it anytime. Yeah, and Kalim, send me a message and we'll be happy to be speakers anytime. Let us know.
Hey, Donald, did you use the levels yesterday from FOMC for FOMC? They were on point. Yeah. If you, and I think that's what's great. Once again, full transparency, I don't work for MentorQ. For most users, coming into the market, especially if you're working full time, you can just see these levels, and if you understand look at, I don't want to say this, but if you just look at where your mouse is, just a little bit to the left on HPL 0 GTE, if you took that level and you just literally went 30 points on ES, that's almost, for those that are doing options, options, not futures, that's at least a 200% increase, right? And even if you didn't get in there, then you just wait for the next subway train, right? X4. And I think that's where the beauty of the levels are. You don't play in between. Just wait for those levels. Set yourself an alert. Walk away, get a cup of coffee, right? Set yourself for an alert and say, okay, every time it comes here, I'm going to just, especially if you're working or you're in school, just set yourself an alert. Walk away, right? Be patient. And if you look at FOMC yesterday, right, right at 2:30 Eastern, right? It just, the levels work out, and don't try to understand where the levels come from, how they're derived. Just discipline. The market pays off every day, guys. I'll leave this with you, then I got to switch over to another meeting. But my younger nephew is 16. His mom wanted him to start working at Target just to get discipline. I teach him trading every weekend. Now his mom doesn't make him work at Target because he's making more money trading. And it's amazing. It's an amazing skill set. I wish my dad taught me that when I was 16. So
absolutely, yeah. Yes, we're gonna do more of those for sure. So trading news events. If you start with the US election course, we did trade FOMC that time. And the reason why we did that is to show you how to use the levels during high volatile events like that one. So US election, FOMC, that was a very crazy night, crazy day. So absolutely.
yeah, Jeff, I'm a really dumb guy. I have no problem admitting this. Levels are all you need, my friend. You could be sitting in Tahiti trading. Just for now, don't look at Bookmap or anything. Just stick to levels. Record what you would have done in the morning. Journal. And Patrick has some great videos on journaling and his discipline in the morning. That's all you need. I hope that answers your question. I'm not saying you don't need Bookmap. You just don't need that if you're starting off.
Yeah. And thank you, Aman, for everything. And just as as Aman is just one of our users, and he's been amazing at providing us feedback and to help us, build a better product, build a better system. So thank you, Aman, for joining this session and for being active.
Yeah, truly my pleasure. And I would just say, but it's the community at large, Fabio. So
Yep.
Lone Wolf, Jeff, Professor Kaleem, Donald, right? Stay engaged because Jeff Bezos has this at Amazon. He has an empty chair when he used to be at Amazon. He has an empty chair for the voice of the customer. And I can tell you, Fabio and Patrick are, having these sessions. They could be doing something else, right? But stay engaged. Ask those questions, because if the users don't ask the questions, then they won't also know what we want, right? So,
Good.
yeah.
Yeah, and also we do this session for you guys. So the goal is really to help you learn something new every day, learn how to use our data. We obviously spend a lot of time and resources to make sure the data and the product gets better, but we can only do that by listening to you guys. So listening to what you need, listening to maybe something that you would love to have that we don't have, that could be a great idea for the future. So absolutely. Right, let's see if we have last few minutes, 3-4 minutes left. Let us know, guys, if you have more questions. If not, we'll post this recording in the product training videos. So this will be available to you guys tomorrow. And then please join us for our live sessions this week and next week. It's going to be a lot of cool things happening. Patrick is back live on the 6 a.m. morning club. Tomorrow we have a good session about quant strategies. And then next week, we are also going to have Dan. We're going to talk about earning strategies with options, so swing models and all of that stuff. And of course, our weekly macro update with Tim and our daily update with Doc. So a lot of things for next week and tomorrow as well. So thank you guys for joining us, and hope to see you in one of these sessions. And then next week, we're also going to have more product sessions. So if you guys come up with questions, you can always come back to us and answer them directly in the live. So thank you, guys. And thank you, Aman, of course.
Thank you, Fabio. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Stay green.